Hello once again. I wanted to do another short little video, maybe not so short, but on my fuel lines, on how to do AN fittings. I know you can find a lot of these videos on the internet, but I kind of wanted to do one. So what happened was I had got everything done on the RX-7 for the fuel system, and then noticed one line was leaking. I think the reason why it was leaking was I guess I got a B-nut or something like that that generally threads onto the end of the fuel line, was misshapen from the factory. So what I did was I took it out and I got two more. This was the line, and I could see like it got really torn up here. Putting that on there, it just wasn't threading on there well enough. And I'll talk it through when I build the new one. But in the meantime, what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to build one of these. Now, this is AN6 line. Let me go ahead and move the camera down just a little bit so everyone can kind of take note as to what I do. And this is my dirty bench. So let me move this down just a bit. Sorry for the vibrations. All right, you're not gonna see much of my face, but I think that's gonna be okay. It's ugly anyway. So first things first is I have some extra line. Actually, this piece will work really nice. And it is a mess, isn't it, guys? This is what happens when you have ADHD and you're like all over the place. So this line was perfect in the car. So I just duplicate it perfectly. So it's gonna come out to about right there on here. Just, fractions of an inch generally don't matter too much. What I have is a paint pen. This absorbs it pretty quick, but the paint pen seems to work out okay. So to cut it, I have some cutters here. These cut pretty much everything. And then a little bit of electrical tape. Now, the reason I use electrical tape is because it holds everything together really well. So in order to prevent the line from fraying, what you want to do is you want to take just a little bit of this tape, and I have my mark right there. I'm going to center this tape right on the mark. That way, because I'm covering up the mark. So if I put it in the center, I have my reference point, and I know exactly where I cut. Now, what did I do with that razor blade? See what happens when you have a messy bench, guys? I need a knife. Where's my knife? It was right here. Okay. I saw it. Well, okay, I'm gonna do exactly what I don't normally do, and that's pull it. Okay. It's just gonna come off anyway. So, about right dead center there. I'm gonna cut this. And you want to make sure that when you cut this line, you cut it as square as possible. You don't want it cut at angles or anything like that. You want it nice and square. I have my new fittings. These are really cool. I like these. I hadn't done this since my aviation days when I was building these things, and it just brought back a lot of memories, and I was excited. And so I didn't do a lot of videos on it. I just built it because this is so much fun, and I miss this from working on airplanes. Again, I'm just unscrewing this, what you call a B-nut, off of here. And so kind of how these work is this end here screws onto the fuel line, and then when this threads into this, it kind of acts as a flare. It pushes into the line and squeezes it and pushes it out against the inside of what I call the B-nut. B as in, buzz, nut. So What did I do with my other one? It's right here. I'm just gonna get both of these out and kind of get the same thing going here. Now these 6ANs are gonna use a 3/4 wrench. I don't have all the right equipment, if you will, to like lock all this down to where it prevents it from like messing up the nice paint that's or coating that's on these things. So mine don't always turn out the nicest. So as far as cosmetic, but they are functional. So what I'm doing here is I'm finding the end of my tape, and I'm going to take my tape off here. And I'm just going to try and be nice so it doesn't tear that up too much. And then what you do is you put this on here like that, and then you thread it on. Some of these were reverse thread for some reason, like that one. Okay, you just thread this on. I don't know if you can kind of see me. It's black, black, black. Everything's black. Okay, and what I'm looking for then is on the inside, you want to make sure that the line is bottomed out on the bottom of this B-nut per se. Once you have that, what I like to do is I'll take a little bit of assembly lube. Just put a little bit on my finger, not a lot. You're not, like, seriously, that much. That's really all you need. A little bit of this goes a long ways. And then I'm going to put a little bit on the flare side of this, just ever so slightly. The reason I'm going to do that is I want to make sure that it pushes in there really, really nice. And then this will dissolve in the fuel, so it goes away. And then what you do is you just start threading this in. And when you thread this in, you want to make sure that this isn't twisting, this is not twisting, and the line's not pushing out or any of that. I like to go on as far as I can with my hands, and then I break out my wrenches. So I'm a right-handed person, so it might not be, you know, very good filming here. But right now, so as I'm pushing this in, it all feels really, really good right now. Nothing's twisting on itself. The pipe isn't trying to push, or the line is not pushing out of the fitting. And you're just going to tighten this up until it stops. All right, almost there, almost there. Okay, got it. So this is one end, and this spins. Everything looks good. It's tight. Hopefully it seals. This is just one of those trials and errors, guys. Like, sometimes things seal, sometimes it doesn't, but that's why when you do this and you build everything, you want to do a pressure check. My aviation days, we were doing this in hard line and stuff like that. It was so much fun building these AN fittings, and then we would put them on a machine, and you'd pressure test them on the machine and make sure that they held the pressure okay. So yeah, making sure that I'm trying to put this on as square as possible on the line, and just kind of screw it around until it bottomed out inside. And again, just take a little tiny drip, just ever so slightly, about that much. See, not a lot, just some assembly lube. I'm gonna put it on here, make sure that this pushes into that line really, really good. Now, there's multiple ways of doing this. This is the way that I do it. I'm sure there's other videos, people do it a little differently, but this is how I did it in my aviation days. I'm gonna push this on there and just start putting it on. Just like that. And like again, I said, I'm gonna put it in as far as I can with my hand, and then I'm gonna grab my wrench If you wrench on this one, that's just going to spin on you. So you want to hit this one on the inside here. And then just go for it. And again, this one's feeling really good. The line's not twisting. It's not pushing out of the fitting or out of the B-nut. And again, I'm just going to continue to go all the way. See, that's what I didn't want to have happen. I didn't want to have it slip like that. I hate it when it slips. All right. Voila. This goes on my oil return, or my fuel return, excuse me. So this one was coming off the fuel pressure regulator back around into the flex fuel sending unit. So what I want to do is grab, it's not going to be an 18. I think that one was, this one's a 16. So this is kind of an interesting deal. This goes on to here, which is like one of these, and this goes onto that GM style fuel injection system. Kind of clicks on, then you have to squeeze these to pop it off. Well, the blue part's still on the fuel sending unit, or the flex fuel unit. So I'm going to take this off, put it on this line, and then put it all back into the car and pressurize the tank or the fuel pump, check for leaks, see if we're good. So sorry for the vibrations, but that's it in a jiff. So this was the leaky side. This side's good. I'm going to be popping this side off, and I have a brand new line right here ready to go. So, until next time, later.